This is the latest installment on the Ford 2003 Explorer, and today we're going to be dealing with the EGR valve, the pressure sensor valve, and any other cause of a check engine light where the code at your mechanic or Autozone or Auto Lab tells you is so. First thing you have to do is pull off this hood. There's maybe some wing nuts there, might have been long taken off by mechanics. You lift it up and then pull this off, and what you're going to see there is the EGR valve. It's right there. This rubber elbow comes off like that and goes back on. See, and there's a dimple. Okay, and that basically is hooked up by two bolts, one there and the other on the other side there. Those bolts have to come out. Now there's a gasket. If you buy this part as a replacement, it comes with another gasket. Also, it's attached right here with I think it's a 1-inch hex fitting, and that screws into the side of it, so you can replace that. Now, I was told that that part never ever needs to be replaced, so that I wasted my money when I replaced that. The next part in this process is found in this part of the engine compartment, which is near the radiator hose, which makes it difficult to get to. I'm going to have to move the light now. Hopefully I can get it down in there without... And that part is right here. Let's see if you can see it. Probably not. And it looks, it's right here next to the air intake. There's two bolts that hold it on. I'm going to show you the part. And that part is called the solenoid, EGR 3001 solenoid. It looks like this. Notice it has the same configuration as the, see the top? It's kind of got this device that spins around. It's got the same configuration as this part here, which is the evaporator, I understand. So you can get the light on there. That's the evaporator. There's the same type of part on the top of it. This part's got a clip. Well, you have to disattach, and some of these parts are very difficult to get to take apart, so you may have to push a screwdriver in here to slide it off. And this part goes up against the engine block, I believe, right there. There's two screws or bolts you need to take out. You replace that, and there's two again, rubber fittings that go over this for basically vacuum tubes. And then of course you replace the electrical clip. Now the part that really is the one that fails, and I am told is what the problem is, these other two parts you can replace, and I'm going to tell you the reason why in a little bit, is right here. Now this is the pressure sensor valve. It's got an electrical clip on it, which is very difficult to take off, and you need to push that down here. Let's see if I can get to it. Push it down, then pull it off. And then there's two white hoses that it attaches to down at the bottom here. Right here and right here. And in order to get that off, I'm going to show you in one moment what you need to use. We're back and we're looking at this pressure sensor valve. This is what goes bad. You can pull the old one off, I understand, and get some carb cleaner and clean it, and not spend the money. That part right there costs about $27. This EGR valve, breather or whatever it's called, costs another, I think, $50 or $55. And this one here, this part that I showed you right here, cost I think $27. So I spent $100. Now my mileage had dropped down to about 12 miles per gallon, and after replacing all these parts, especially this one, when I replaced all three, I went up to 21 miles per gallon on this car. I also placed one of the I'll show you what the mechanic showed me was this tool, which you basically use for gardening, for pulling up weeds. And what he showed me is that what you use to pry that down. You get it on there and pry it down. Now he had cut his grounded in the center out, or so make it less of a V, so it wouldn't destroy any of the parts. Once you hook that back up, make sure you hook up all your electricals. Your sensors is what they are. The mechanic can have him run a full diagnostic when he hooks the machine up, and it'll go through each one of these sensors and tell you what's wrong. Again, I was told that this was the part. It goes on every single one of these automobiles. There's hot gases. This is what rechannels the gases, the unburned fuel into your back into your cylinders, and it increases your mileage considerably. I suspect what happened was that two of these parts began to fail. That's the reason why my mileage dropped. I was driving with this check engine light on for about maybe 6 months to a year. My mileage was still fairly decent, and then dropped down to 12 miles per gallon. That's when I made the switch. So that's it. That's the part. You replace that part about $27 at AutoZone or Murray's, and if you're in Michigan, and that should do it. Now you got to go back to your mechanic, get him to clear the codes, and but this is the part you should start with right there. I understand that this one does not need to ever be replaced, according to what I was told. So make a comment on YouTube. Let me know if this works out for you. It worked out for me. Again, I got 60-70% better mileage because of replacing these three parts. I don't know if I needed to replace all three. Again, I was told I just needed to replace that one. And give you an idea of where that's at on the engine compartment. You've got this one, the EGR valve there. You've got the pressure sensor there, and you've got the solenoid here right underneath the radiator hose. Thank you and good luck. And put